need to find a boat.
Ugh.
I need a boat.
confident in what he was saying, and he feel like he didn't have to make up anything. He just delivered exactly what he needed to say. But yeah, I did enjoy Jay Uso and Cody in that backstage segment. I like Cody coming up to him like, hey, what's going on, man?
Do you want to do the, because it's the last spot, just add Cody Seth, just in general together? They had a really solid segment together.
I like it. It wasn't over the Cody-ish, you know. It wasn't like typical Cody. It was speaking plain facts, Cody, which works really well versus Cody, who is like he wasn't over poetic, you know. He was just talking straight facts. And I like what Seth Rollins says. Is like, I am the future. This is the vision, and you are my quarterback. I was like,
Toasty, Tobias Burnett, Tom Lehman, Trent Head, Trevor Harder, Two Slaps Cupid, Tycho, Tyler Logan, Unknown Zero, Vegan Penguin, Venom, Verzo, Void Z, Juan Pablo III, like Mexican William Newton, Zach Smira, Yo Girl Side, Yusuf, Zach Griffin, Zacharias Cox, Say 2K needs to oil up, Zerzito, and Lord BB&J. Thank you guys for being our patrons. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for watching this episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. See you guys in the next one. You guys take care. You wonderful people. And goodbye.
Bing bong.
Bing bong wepa. Van Horn Elysian Pool.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast, the coolest wrestling podcast on the planet. Sancho, I'm having a great day. I've had nothing but good things happen to me. I had a delicious breakfast, had a great night of sleep. Things are just coming up tough. How are things going on your end?
Dog, they are the absolute worst. I kid you not. They are going bad right now. It's all. I feel like I got a curse on me. Like legit. One of my PCs died, completely kaput. You know, I was grinding away on Fortnite, and all of a sudden, in a top 5 situation, died out. I'm like, cool. And then I'm talking to you about it, and I'm like messing with my phone, and I cracked the screen on my phone. Cracked screen.
Folks, I
Now
saw
gotta get
him.
another phone.
I saw him live and in color, just snapping his phone like a Slim Jim. You should get it sponsored by Slim Jim.
I should. I should. Now, I think it is all coming to light, Santi. I have a monkey paw situation. I wanted more LA Knight on Monday Night Raw. And what happens? He shows up on Monday Night Raw. To what? Help Jey Uso qualify for the semifinals. And here I am, and I'm screaming, no, this is a monkey ball situation. And here I go, you know what would be fun? You know what, let me manifest something hilarious. Ha ha ha, let's make some jokes. How about Goldberg and Gunther? Why not? Let's have some shenanigans. And what happens? Lo and behold, we get Goldberg versus Gunther. Monkey's paw, brother. Monkey's paw.
Dude, it is one of those situations when it rains, it pours. One thing just leads to another. And it is a cascading effect of just terrible things. Did you ever watch the show 6 Feet Under?
No, but I've seen the finale, believe it or not.
Oh.
Like, I would check into it every now and then, and that finale was one of the best television shows.
Wonderful finale. The last 5 minutes of that, like, legitimately, like, make you cry. I won't spoil it for anybody, but one of the premises of the show, Sideshow, is that somebody always passes away at the beginning of the show. It shows how they pass away, and then the whole episode is about their funeral service. I feel like you remind me of one of the beginnings of those episodes, because there's an episode where this kid, he finds a little a dying pigeon. Him and his dad nurse it back to hell, and they release it back into the wild. The dad goes, see son, sometimes you can make a difference in this world. Then the pigeon flies up, it shits on a guy's windshield, he smears it all over his car, gets into a gruesome car accident, a bunch of people die. I feel like these are the types of things that are happening to you. It's slowly leading towards something even worse. I hope it's not death, but it's led to Goldberg versus Gunther, so it's close to it.
Oh my God! I read the comments. The people want me in the thumbnails, and you want me dead. Like, come on, brother. Does it not work for you? Is this a surprise to you? I told you that the people want me in the thumbnails. You're like, excuse me? Yes. The people want me in the thumbnails, sir. Have you not been reading the comments? Have you not come down off your little pedestal and come down and hang out with the plebeians down here? The have-nots?
You enjoyed the show? It's all part of the show. Folks, welcome to the Wrestling is Cool podcast, coolest wrestling podcast on the planet. You could, of course, be getting this podcast episode 3 days earlier than everywhere else on the planet over on patreon.com/SantiZap. You hear that, Sancho? SantiZap, which is why your bum-ass face is not in the thumbnails, all right? I want you to remember your place, all right? I want you to remember that you're the carrying cross of this thing. You're lucky to get 30 seconds of non-commercial TV time, all right? So just Because everyone needs to know this.
And this is what we're doing, all right? This is what we're spending our time here on our wrestling school. So, what happens is, Skip, all of a sudden, WWE is winning. They took out 2 people really fast, and then the Nexus turns to good old Ryback to turn it around. He takes out 2 people quickly, bam, bam, and then Bret Hart comes in and he hits good old Ryback with a chair, and then he gets speared, and then he gets another finisher on him, and then he gets out. And I'm like, man, way to go, Ryback, way to go. But by the way, John Cena wins that, even though he is down 2-0, and the heel turns from Edge and Jericho. In that same match, your boy John Cena prevails.
That's why he's the GOAT, bro. That's why he's the GOAT.
That's why he's the GOAT.
The GOAT! Just confirm, Ryan Reeves is a Canadian professional ice hockey right winger for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Not even close to Skip Sheffield. Listen, you guys are gonna like the Ryback interview. It's gonna be a hoot and it's gonna be a holla. Holla! If you hear me.
I'm actually gonna end up falling in love with Ryback, and that's what scares me. No.
Just follow him on Twitter. You'll quickly fall on it.
Oh, no. I'm talking about Ryback the wrestler. All right, Ryback the wrestler.
All right, if you say so. Well, folks, they did compare Ryback a lot to Goldberg when Ryback was in his initial run as a Ryback, not as Ryan Reeves of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And as Sancha already alluded to, Goldberg is back on our TV screens. And you and I have been talking about the possibility of a Goldberg versus Gunther match for quite a long time here on this podcast. I was of the mind, sure. Now that the title is off of Gunther, if that's what you want to do, fine. Let's just do it, get it over with, give him his send-off match. But this is the most catastrophic way to go about it. Doing a title change, taking the title off of Jey Uso to put it on Gunther so that Gunther could go defend it against Goldberg. Brother, I know that the odds of Goldberg winning are so slim. So slim. But they aren't 0. Alright? What I've been saying recently is that the odds of Gunther losing this thing to Goldberg are 0.0001%. Means that Gunther has a 99.999 repeating chance of winning. But just like hand sanitizer is only able to kill 99.999% of germs. And right now, the strongest, scariest germ out there is Goldberg. He is that 0.001% that survives the cataclysm that is the Gunther hand sanitizer, brother.
You're thinking about, I feel like, what is it? What is that movie? Mrs. Jones?
Osmosis Jones.
Osmosis Jones, bro. Not even him can save us.
Dude, I've watched that movie like 7 times, never from beginning to end. It was always a substitute teacher that would put it on for like 30 minutes at a time. But that's how I got all my Osmosis Jones in.
Gunther standing on one end, Goldberg standing out of the crowd, shaking, Goldberg, ding, 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 Goldberg sitting there. Boom, spear! Boom, jackhammer! 1, 2, 3, that's gonna happen, dude. Yes, it's gonna happen.
At face value, if you're a newer member of the WWE Universe, that might sound ridiculous. It might sound stupid. But just take it from first-hand account experience. I am a survivor of a Goldberg cataclysmic win that no one expected. I was at Survivor Series 2016. Brock Lesnar, the scariest man on the WWE roster. The guy was unstoppable. The guy beat the streak. He beat the streak. He walks into Survivor Series 2016 in a match against Goldberg, and exactly what Sancho just said could happen to Gunther is exactly what happened to Brock Lesnar post beating the streak. If you think the odds of Gunther losing to Goldberg are actually 0%, I'm sorry, you are being purposely ignorant, and I get it. It is a nice little ignorance is bliss type of situation. You want to live in the happy-go-lucky land where everything is nice and hunky-dory while Goldberg doesn't win the world championship. But I'm here to bring you to reality. It can happen. It is there. It is a possibility. Do not think that we are free from Goldberg as world heavyweight champion. It can happen, and it very well could happen. about to happen. I need you to buy all the canned goods that you can. All right? I need you to hunker down and get ready for the apocalypse that is Gunther as world heavyweight champion, because it could happen. Goldberg.
I know people are like immediately go, oh, he's huffing and puffing, he's gassed. He was gassed out. It doesn't matter.
Dude, I'm that guy in the corner of Los Angeles saying the world is ending with the bell, with the carton over his body, with the sign that says the world is ending. That's me.
The barbed on the tattoo on the little sign.
Yes.
Dude, not a bad merch, by the way. Last ride, not bad.
Sure.
That little thing. I like how someone posted like a picture of the Undertaker going, last ride.
Not again.
But okay, in all seriousness though, why Goldberg, right? Let's be real. Like, why would the WWE, who's built up this whole goodwill, Triple H having solid booking, let Papa H cook, having all this goodwill on that side of wrestling, with even NXT and all that kind of thing, where they always kind of had logics on D. They were building a world where logic existed, where if this happened, then it's a result of this occurring. This wrestler will always remember what happened in the past, right? The memory was locked in. There was no more of like, hey, weren't we friends just like at the last week? No, that's all now working together. We're in a different kind of modern booking. And it feels like this is a step back into the old school Vince McMahon days, man. But if you have to really think about this, and I thought about it with my watch party on Twitch, I was like, if you were the WWE and if Goldberg says, I want to retire, what do you do, brother? What you gonna do when Goldberg wants to retire with you? You're gonna have to kind of say yes, because if not, he's just gonna go across the street, go AEW, and they're gonna give him this big send-off, and then it's gonna be that money that you can easily make. Now, do you think that the current roster could be irked by it? Do you think Jay Uso's like, this kind of sucks that I lost my belt so this could happen? Of course, Rikishi's upset, but it's just business, right? You gotta say, like, it's literally just business. Saturday night's main event, NBC, in Atlanta, Georgia, main event, Goldberg, retirement tour, retirement match, who knows what's gonna be advertised as, versus Gunther. It's like Rocky versus Antonio Tarver, all right, and Rocky Balboa, okay?
I'm glad you didn't go with like one of the iconic Rocky matches.
No.
I would be like, do not compare this to Apollo Creed, or compare this to Clubber Lang, or dare I say Ivan Drago.
Dixon, baby. Next in the line, Dixon, Rocky 6.
Listen, I think it is fundamentally hilarious that this is what WWE thinks is going to drive the narrative on Saturday over AEW All In. What are your thoughts on that?
I just was gonna say, is it WWE or TKO Endeavor saying we want this?
I mean, here's the thing. I think it's also weird to try and separate the two. They're the same thing. They're the same thing. They're the same company at the end of the day.
You sure about that?
I mean, to vilify TKO would not vilify WWE. Like, I'm sure they want the same thing. I really do. I think that they're both giant conglomerates. One just happens to own the other one now. I think at the end of the day, they're just trying to be sure that they're the #1 talking point of that weekend. And I'm sure WWE and TKO are both aligned on that. And I think that they both think that it's Goldberg.
Walk with me here.
Sure.
Okay. Goldberg is old school. Goldberg is the 90s, 2000s generation, right?
That's not old school. It is.
By now, those people have a lot of money to spend, right? They could expend it. It kind of reminds me, this is my second Fortnite thing, and I'm done for Fortnite references. When they released an 80s skin, and like, what kid would buy RoboCop, right? No one would buy RoboCop this generation, but me and other people around my generation. Like, RoboCop's badass. I'm gonna throw down my V-Bucks for RoboCop. So I'm asking you, is this the WWE going, we need to sell tickets, and there's gonna be a draw for the expense? Oh, who has the extra income? RoboCop and Goldberg.
This is the most man-child sentence I've ever heard. Yeah, I'll throw down my V-Bucks for RoboCop. Are you gonna throw down your V-Bucks for Bruno Mars when he comes out on Fortnite?
Most likely. junk in the middle, I think we'd be like, I'm on board with this.
Dude, when Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar, that was insane. I was like, dude, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I was not of the mind like Goldberg shouldn't be winning this. I was like, dude, that is awesome. That is so out of left field. I'm down for this. But you're right. Over the years, they've kind of killed the ambiance, the aura, as they say, of Goldberg, and he's become, in many cases,
Liability.
What is the word that I'm looking for? I feel like nuisance is too harsh. It feels like a unnecessary obstacle that people don't want to see for the guy that's currently champion.
So the definition of nuisance.
A nuisance. Well, I'm sorry, does Goldberg not feel like a nuisance feud for Gunther?
Okay, I don't know. Let's
Get
look at
off
this.
me!
These are the last matches since 2017 when Goldberg appeared at the Rumble in San Antonio, which I thought was a fine entrance for him, right?
All right, hit me.
All right, Roman Reigns versus Goldberg at Elimination Chamber 2022 in Jeddah.
Yep, I remember.
No holds bar, falls count anywhere. Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley, Crown Jewel 2021.
Awful.
Bobby Lashley defeats Goldberg by referee's decision, SummerSlam 2021.
That was when he attacked the kid, wasn't it? Bobby Lashley attacked his son. That's now like a beast over in Colorado State.
Maybe. Drew McIntyre defeating Goldberg at Royal Rumble 2021 in the Thunderdome. That's a Thunderdome match.
Sure.
Braun Strowman defeating Goldberg 2 minutes and 13 seconds at WrestleMania 36.
Fascinating.
Goldberg defeating The Fiend at the Super Showdown 2020.
Hang on.
Before
you continue. Alright, you can continue.
Goldberg defeating Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam
That was hype.
2019.
That was hype. I actually love that. Okay, so he beats him in like a minute, but the bit of that match, Sancho, is that he leaves Dolph Ziggler laying in just a mass of his own destruction. And then Dolph's like, is that all you got? As Goldberg's walking out, walks to the back. Goldberg's music hits again, comes out, destroys him again. Goldberg leaves. Ziggler's like, is that it? I thought this was America. I'm not dead. Goldberg comes out, kills him again. It was a good bit.
The Undertaker defeating Goldberg in the Super Showdown 2018. You remember those Super Showdowns? Man, those were...
God, that was a bad match.
Yeah, because Goldberg concussed himself on the ring post. Then the Universal title, Brock Lesnar defeating Goldberg
Hype.
at the WrestleMania 33, the Ultimate Thrill Ride.
Hype.
That's the one with the roller coaster.
I love that match. Sancho, I actually have that match in my top 10 matches to show non-wrestling fans.
Goldberg defeating Kevin Owens in 22 seconds at Fastlane.
Bullshit.
Remember that stuff on these. Then he's in the Rumble, and then Goldberg defeating Brock Lesnar 1 minute 25 seconds at Survivor Series 2016. And then the infamous match 2004, Goldberg defeating Brock Lesnar with Stone Cold Steve Austin as a special guest for
Mania 20.
where everybody hated because Goldberg and Brock Lesnar were leaving.
What a bad idea, right? Especially,
right?
think about that though. If you know both of those guys are leaving, why wouldn't you have two separate matches where you can put over two people that are going to be there the next night? Why have a match between two guys that are leaving where no one gets to look better on Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania? And it's pointless.
Well, that's what I feel about this entire, we'll talk about it, about the King of the Ring. I feel there's not when you have main eventers, it's hard to build up the next crop of people. But anyway, back to Goldberg. Is this going to hurt Gunther in any way?
If he loses, yeah. Yeah, if he loses, Fiend never recovered. Fiend, Bray Wyatt never recovered from that.
Fiend!
No, stop it. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't ever do that again.
Don't do that. Do you think that Gunther could look strong in any way?
If he sleeps Gunther, if he gets hit by a spear and then a jackhammer and kicks out, then yeah, I'd be like, okay. A lot of people have been put away by that combination, and Gunther didn't, which I guess would be cool. Now, if Gunther is somehow able to magically get a good match out of Goldberg, then Las Vegas, alongside Siegfried and Roy, alongside Chris Angel, alongside all of the greatest magicians on the planet, because that would be some magic if you were to pull out a good match out of Goldberg.
That is impossible.
It is.
Even William Regal couldn't do
I
that.
know. I know.
William Regal exposed Goldberg that he couldn't work. There is so much. That's the thing about this entire saga. I feel that it is a tale of two halves. It's the people that were there in the WCW days who knew Goldberg at his peak, right? And then there's the U's, right? Well, actually, there's more than three. Then there's the U's that saw him past his peak.
Yeah.
He was still kind of cooking in that ruthless aggression.
I was a
era.
huge fan of him in the Ruthless Aggression era. That was when he was introduced to me, and I was a kid, and it worked. You know, like the shtick worked on me for sure.
Right. I mean, his matches don't go more than 15 minutes. I'm looking at his cage match. There's not that many matches where he goes long. But the thing about Goldberg for post, that's what I mean. Now it's this crop of people, the people that maybe will listen to this podcast. We definitely want to hear from you. What do you feel about Goldberg? I admit Goldberg, but then we look at it. There's Goldberg, Gunther, and you have to say Jey Uso's part of the story. Like he's part of this. The beginning of the story that set this off, and Jey Uso losing. Now that we know the business behind why he lost, kind of puts a sour taste in my mouth of what the WWE was thinking. Yeah, I think you could have easily protected Jey by stripping the title off of him if he was hurt. They were building that angle of Money in the Bank. Let him be hurt, so that way it doesn't look like this is all business. You can even done it where I feel like what they did was they let Gunther cut a face promo saying, "Seth, I'm here. Cash it in on me. Let's go." That's something a babyface would say, right? Like, come on, dude. You want to go ahead and cash it in? Cash it in right here. I'm not afraid of you. And then Goldberg music hit. You could have easily done it where Jey Uso comes out, says, "Hey, I am gonna drop the belt." Da 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 da. Then later Goldberg comes out, maybe beats down Jey Uso, and then let Goldberg come out and try to protect Jey Uso. You had so many opportunities to have Goldberg come out, at least come out to protect Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. There were ways, Santi, to do this cleaner and not let show your work. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like we saw the work behind the magic, so to speak here.
Yeah, this didn't need the World Championship. Go back and watch Gunther's return, the conversation that they had. The World Championship wasn't even brought up once at all. This is
my favorite wrestler, Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. Let me tell you something about Bill Goldberg. This segment didn't need the World Championship. This match didn't need the World Championship. It feels too synthetic, too manufactured. And
not the real stuff.
It doesn't. Yeah, it feels like I'm watching an anime filler arc right now. Listen,
Processed food.
I will also not roast people that are excited about this. Like Goldberg is a legend in the industry. If you're excited about this, good for you.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, when I read comments and tweets about how excited you are about Bill Goldberg, in my head, I'm Hank Hill and you're Bobby Hill. But Dad, it's Bill Goldberg. He's a legend, Dad. Oh, Bobby, go to your room. That's how I feel when I'm having conversations with Bill Goldberg fans.
This thing's not lasting. Okay, let's go ahead and make a gentleman's bet.
Okay.
5 gifted.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the bet that this match goes 6 minutes or longer. Officially.
Oh, I'll take that action. I will take
6 minutes or less?
6 minutes or less.
Okay.
All right. Huzzah. All right. We've struck a bargain. We're good to go. I can't believe you gave me that.
6 minutes or less? I'll take it, dude. I mean, that means I'm predicting a kick out from Gunther.
Dude, Jey Uso versus Logan Paul went for 9 minutes. you think that Jey Uso versus Logan Paul is only going to be max 3 minutes longer than Goldberg versus Gunther? You're insane. You just gave me 5 gifted for free.
Really? It's not that bad. You wanna make it 10 gifted for fun? That's more like a palatable.
Oh, buddy, I'll take that action.
Alright.
6 minutes or less, you're going to give me that action. gonna give me the under on 6 minutes, brother. Dude. Just. Oh, Yeska. Oh my God. Wow. You didn't tell me you had royalty here.
Dude, wow, our first ever guest on the Wrestling School podcast, La Yeska.
I will buy the official La Yeska. This is, by the way, the exact one that he has. It's just
How did you find out?
it's just on Amazon. It's the same one, brother. It's an Amazon iguana. Yes, it is. It is an iguana. How many companies could possibly make an iguana hand puppet? All right, not very many. It's the same one. But it was $40 Canadian, and I'm sure WWE will charge us like $100 when the official one comes out. I promise I will buy the official one so that Mr. Iguana can get his cut. But right now, WWE isn't supplying me with what I need, so I had to go somewhere else. I had to go get myself a bootleg La Yeska, okay?
Wow. $40, not bad.
Not bad, right? It's a
Not
good
bad.
quality iguana hand puppet. Everyone should get one of these.
You should, what's your affiliate link? you should throw it up in the air and try to land on your shoulder like he does. Can you do that?
Want to try?
Alright, folks, he's gonna try to throw up his yes guy into the air. See if he
Sancho,
can
I
get
want
it.
you
Oh,
to know that if I
Oh my God, you're gonna kick it off your foot? Oh my
Isn't
God.
that what he
no.
does? Isn't that what he does?
Yeah, but I thought you were just gonna throw it. I was gonna like let you have a
Okay,
absy, alright?
Let me try it. Let me try it with the foot first.
Okay, he's gonna kick something, I know it. Here we go, folks. You're missing, watching the pod on the audio. About to kick it.
Oh!
Okay, valid.
Hold on. There's a shot. There's a chance.
Alright, he's gonna try getting
Last
up really
chance.
close. You're rimmed out. Now he's got it. Here he goes.
No.
No. Oh, no. Now he's committed, folks. No, your big arms couldn't save Yeska.
Dude, I'm gonna hit that one day.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna hit that one day. All right.
Wait.
I'm gonna hit that trick. All right. It's like an ollie. You know. It's like
Okay.
a 360.
You should practice. Oh, that'd be a sick little short. Go to like somewhere outside and then like practice kicking it, open up.
I like that. All right. Look at Sancho making me go viral. All right. Let's move on from Goldberg. I feel like we've talked about enough Goldberg, more than people would probably want to hear. Let's talk about some sadder news, unfortunately. Let's
Say
talk.
his name and he'll appear.
Oh, he did. And he did. We have Liv Morgan, unfortunately, getting injured on Monday Night Raw. It's been confirmed by the commentary team that it is a dislocated shoulder, which is just so brutal. We're going to talk a bit more about the impact of this injury because the impact is heavy in terms of all the storylines that she was involved in, all the potential story arcs that could go towards Evolution, towards SummerSlam. All of those are now in jeopardy. Now, Sancho, I'm not a doctor, clearly. I am a loser that talks about professional wrestling on the internet, but I do have medical experts in my chat, and one of them said that it all really depends on what kind of shoulder dislocation it is. If it is just joint out of socket, it could be literally back as quickly as a week and a half. If it is a Finn Balor situation, which is joint out of socket, torn ligaments, the works, then we're talking about a really, really long time. Yeah.
Was it the buckle?
The buckle ball. Then we're talking about a really, really long time. So obviously I'm in the situation where it's like fingers crossed that hopefully it is a clean dislocation, pop it back in, a week or so of recovery, and she can continue to build back storylines and feuds as we go towards Evolution and SummerSlam. Because if she is gone for several months, my goodness, the impact is going to be felt because Liv Morgan was in a lot of things. We basically had an entire Liv Morgan ecosystem going on across the WWE. Let me list off a couple of the things that she was working on. She has started a program there right before her injury with Io Sky for the WWE Women's World Championship. They're already teasing it, but now that was official there. There was the program with Nikki Bella. There was the program with Roxanne Perez and Dominic Mysterio. And she was even having a little tag team championship feud with B-Bab and Michin. So she was running all over the place. On top of that, she was making all the media appearances, being at like the Netflix Badum event and stuff. So she was working overtime for the WWE, filming movies, everything.
Tada.
What did I say?
But no.
It's the same shit, whatever, man. Whatever, bro. As if you stopped my train of thought to confirm that it's Tadum over Badum.
Yeah, I just trying to help you out. a building block. She was the motherboard, like my PC, right? She was the motherboard that was working everything. Did you even mention Rhea, the overarching story with Rhea? Like that's always there.
Yeah, that's always there. I didn't even mention Rhea. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always there. And then seemingly that Rhea is going to be with Raquel, like I mentioned, Brett and Sean of our generation here. Ricky's one.
Don't try to make me angry. We're only 30 minutes in, man. You know what you're doing. You're triggering me.
What do you mean?
Move on. Rhea Ripley and Raquel are not the Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels of our generation. Stop.
God, I love them together, though. They're awesome.
They do have good chemistry.
They do have good chemistry. And then, yeah, I think the biggest blow would be the Evolution pay-per-view, if PLE, if she misses out on that. I mean, all these other feuds are kind of building towards SummerSlam and other things, but I felt the one that with Nikki Bella and Liv Morgan, I felt like that were kind of saying, like, hey, you like Nikki Bella? Well, check this out. We have a new wrestler named Liv Morgan, and she's just as awesome, and she's even better. And she's going to be someone that we can look out for. They'll be in a big tag match, right? There are so many things that we always said, hey, who's the big bad, the evil heel of the women's division? And we were hoping that Naomi would take that mantle after Money in the Bank, and we could say definitely she has in terms of the booking threat. But behind the scenes, in front of the camera, promos, all this kind of stuff. Even with Jade Cargill, she was kind of being a nuisance to her. It was Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan was the big bad. She was like the Loki of the universe, where she doesn't have a dominating presence, but she has her fingers in every storyline for the women's division. And I think without her, you lose a lot of virality, dude. She was instantly a lightning in the bottle. Anytime she appeared on camera, she could do something that could go viral. She broke the internet with he's into girls that are just like me. And ever since that, we've been on a fast track with Liv Morgan. And what's also as well is that she's been doing a lot of great in-ring as well. I know we've been talking about behind the scenes, but her in-ring has been great, dude. She's been working with some the top talent and selling and putting her body on the line. And absolutely phenomenal wrestler that's grown to this point. And I'm going to miss Liv Morgan. I'm hoping it's the shoulder injury, and you know, it's just going to be one of those things now, Santi. She's going to sell it all her rest of her career, man. They're going to keep bringing it up, and it's going to be interesting. I think if she is gone for a week, they keep her on ice. It's important to keep her on ice as long as possible, so that way Roxy could kind of splinter her way in and kind of spread like a fungus and cause corruption amongst the Judgment Day and continue to work Dominic Mysterio. I thought it was interesting that Dom didn't come out there, and that let me know it was like legit, that Dominic Mysterio wasn't there to comfort her or any kind of way, and knowing that it's a real injury, that's a bummer, man. It's such a really simple thing that happened, dude. It wasn't like a buckle bomb spot, it was just falling down.
Yeah, just the way she braced just happened to be on the first
the canvas kind of got caught a little bit.
It's just so unfortunate. You know, I really will not take you seriously if you're blaming Kairi Sane for this. I am seeing it though, which is why I'm bringing it up. Of people blaming Kairi Sane for the injury to Zoe, now this injury, that's ridiculous. It's just a series of unfortunate events that just so happen to have included Kairi Sane. I don't think that it's I don't think it's a correlation or causation. I think it's just unlucky. It might bring up to what you were saying before, lack of house shows, more injuries. It could be something with that, but then again, like, I don't think any amount of house shows could have prevented this. This was so rudimentary, so simple. And when you look at just actual fast-paced professional sports, some of the most gnarly injuries have happened in solo plays, right? A lot of football players have broken ankles, high ankle sprains, torn ACLs, just by pivoting. Literally just by pivoting, something that they do every single day in practice over and over and over again, a non-contact injury. It happens, unfortunately, way too often. The Derrick Rose, a layup, bro, a layup. So something he's done a bazillion times. It's just the nature of the beast when you are playing a contact sport, when you're playing something fast-paced, when you're a high-level athlete like a Liv Morgan. You never want to see it happen, but it does happen. What I will say, Sancho, is that there's never a good time to get injured, but there is such thing as maybe the worst timing, and this could be up there with some of the worst timing imaginable, unfortunately, because of evolution and the fact that SummerSlam is around the corner, and the fact that WWE was clearly creating the Liv Morgan multiverse within the WWE as a major cornerstone of Evolution and probably SummerSlam as well.
Just to put it in perspective, and I know this is like not the same thing, but it's kind of similar. Disney and Marvel put so many eggs in the Jonathan Majors Crane basket, and then when all that went to kaput, they had to change so many stories post that phase. Like, they invested so much into that villain that it didn't work out for them due to circumstances unforeseen, and they had to pivot. And now we're in that, we're dealing with that still, that pivot, where they're trying to figure out, well, what do we do now? Because Kang was supposed to be that big bad that's supposed to be the next Thanos level threat. So now what are they gonna do? I mean, we always talked about the machine moves on, brother. The machine continues, it pushes. If you want to be crazy, you could even introduce Jordan Grace as a heel. She could fill a slot for a little bit. Her and Rakizel could kind of team up for a bit. That'd be interesting.
Okay.
That would give.
So that basically, we're trying to figure out who's the Doctor Doom, right?
Yeah.
Who is the Doctor Doom here? And I'm gonna make it a little bit simpler, right? I feel like Liv Morgan was going to. I think we can look to a different shot. I think we can look to maybe like a Naomi. Naomi with the briefcase, what she's doing. They were building. They're slowly. They're doing a good job, dude. They're doing a good job. They're doing all the things that we said they needed to do, right? Make her crazier. Did you see that video of her with the briefcase and all the insane weapons she had in there? She had like a taser, a pocket knife, all kinds of things in there. The maniacal laughing. Like, they're all doing all of the right things. Maybe right now the pivot to the Doctor Doom in this situation, as you pivot away from Kang the Conqueror, might be leaning towards more the craziness and the evil of Naomi. Because I know what everybody is thinking, and I'm thinking it too. They're going to do the Rhea storyline 2.0. Rhea got injured. I wish she was gone. Liv Morgan seduced Dominic Mysterio, and it led to the storyline between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley that lasted several months. I get it. The story blocks are lined up almost identical right now with Roxanne Perez. Maybe it's a pivot to lean more on Roxanne Perez, and maybe that is what you do. But it'd be something we've seen before already, I'll say that. But I would not want to see it. I've seen it before.
They should do a thing where, like some shorts where Dom's playing some like sad, like Mexican music. You know how those memes where it's like, he's just like so pining over Liv that he's hurt. And so it's a shame that Carlito's not around. I think Carlito could have filled like a void to be that random voice to talk to, like, don't worry, she's gonna be okay. You know, that kind of stuff that I feel that Judgment Day is desperately needed. I think that storyline's gonna be hurt the most. If you were to ask me all the different stories, like the Nikki Bella one, they could find somebody else to fill that, right?
Yeah.
They could do that. Rhea is already on the background. That's not really the forefront. Right now, the forefront is the slow demise of Judgment Day, Raquel, Roxy. And I think that storyline is going to hurt the most. Finn Balor manipulating things and trying to egg Liv and get her out or make her paranoid. That was the big moment. That was the summer of Judgment Day that we were hoping for. But if it is Naomi, does Naomi pivot and go after Io?
Well, Io needs somebody, right? Io needs somebody now, because that's also one that's been now vacated as a slot as to who's going to go up against Io, be the next big threat for the World Championship there. So, yeah, like, that's a possibility.
Do we get a call-up? Anyone, does maybe Stephanie Becker? I mean, does anybody that could slide?
Sure. If you're pitching me Stephanie Becker versus Io Sky, you're never going to get a single ounce of pushback from me, brother. That's for certain. If they want to pivot to that, that's fine.
Yeah, that would be a great Evolution match.
I will just say, look, I feel like slotting in Roxanne there is not as appetizing as some other options that are there, in my opinion.
So it needs to be a placeholder, like a marquee match that just like, let's go ahead and showcase the best of the best that we have here in the women's division of WWE. Why not Stephanie Batcat versus Io Sky with the threat of Naomi to cash in on
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Yeah. Shame, man. Obviously, hoping nothing for the best for Liv Morgan. Hoping that it is best case scenario with that injury. If it ends up being best case scenario, fantastic. If it ends up being worst case scenario, hopefully we have a John Cena level of recovery for Liv Morgan and is able to come back as soon as possible. Why do you
have to bring up John Cena?
Because
everything revolves around John Cena.
Okay,
so he easily said Triple H.
Sure, but that's old school, man. We're keeping it still around wrestling at least. Triple H, where is he at? Where's he at?
On
He
the show,
wrestling.
pal.
He's on at the show. You enjoying the show? He's just out there lying about Ron Killings, bro. That's all he does.
Ron on the live.
Ron on the live, come on in.
What's wrong with you?
Oh no. Speaking of which, and Cena, let's pivot to that. We have John Cena, Ron Unalivings, and CM Punk being the big focal point of Friday Night SmackDown. Sancho, have you seen our trailer? Have you seen Ron Killings? Cena is getting to a level of goofy villain that I'm like, alright, I'm in for this. Whatever the hell this is, alright, feed it into my veins. When he started arguing with Nick Aldis without audio, and he like flipped his hat backwards and started just screaming in his face with a bulging vein up his neck, that was hilarious. Great stuff.
That was one of the best SmackDowns because it featured John Cena throughout the entire episode.
Love that.
He didn't take his ball and went home. I love the opening where he talked about what's Mount Rushmore, which is funny because it's what all the conversations of the internet wrestling community has. Mount Rushmore. He's like, Dylon, and Dylon. John Cena. And then CM Punk comes out, and that was like, oh my God, here we go. We're
not advertised as far as I knew.
Yeah, and it's another sign that the brand split should not exist. We get moments like this, even like with Seth Rollins and LA Knight, we get more vixens, and that makes all the fun. Like when you go to Froyo, get a frozen yogurt, and what's the best part, sir? All the vixens and vixens that you put on the top. What's your go-to frozen yogurt topping, sir?
I like,
It doesn't matter what you're It's so easy! Yes, you dum-dum! Put me on the thumbnail! As I was saying, I loved it, and it was really cool because the best part was that LA Knight walks out and roasts him with the most heinous thing I've ever heard told to John Cena's face. I don't think John Cena's ever been said anything like that, even during the Ruthless Aggression days. Thoughts?
You don't get my thoughts anymore. You get nothing. Yeah, I really like that segment, man. SmackDown, this is what it's missing, right? It's missing the main event picture. I love the U.S. title picture, love the women's picture, but they can't carry a 3-hour show with that being the main event picture. You need the men's main event picture. You need Cody Rhodes there. You need Randy. You need Cena. Adding new life into it like LA Knight. That 3-hour SmackDown flew by. You know how many times since Cody Rhodes has been gone from on hiatus after WrestleMania 41, I've looked at my watch and been like, oh my God, there's still an hour and a half left to this show. This was not it. This is what SmackDown has been missing. A living, breathing, thriving main event picture that's got so many moving pieces, like including Ron Unalivings in there is so interesting as well. It gives our main eventer something different to do aside from just the traditional Cody Rhodes promo. The crowd, you guys suck, you guys are terrible people, blah, blah, blah. We're seeing more layers to the John Cena heel run. And one of the conversation pieces in one of my videos was that episode of SmackDown, to me, almost felt like the start, like the good beginnings of the John Cena heel run. Because everything else before it felt so stuck in a vacuum, right? It was just Cena and Cody Rhodes leading into WrestleMania. But the John Cena heel turn is such a monumental piece. You think it impacted more than just Cody Rhodes. And then it was the Randy Orton feud. And that was only Cena and Randy. You'd think it impacted more. Here, now we're seeing it. Now we're seeing the impact of the John Cena heel run. A John Cena that wants to ruin wrestling. Finally, all of the big players are stepping in to make sure that John Cena doesn't ruin wrestling. This is what the John Cena heel run has been missing. A proper opposition. A proper rolling cast of superheroes trying to stop the bad guy. This is, to me, where the John Cena retirement tour heel run truly begins. Not to mention CM Punk, man. Now we got so many characters gunning after Cena.
Do you think that when it comes down to John Cena, they need to continue this? They need to maximize, because this is how they booked Roman leading up to WrestleMania 39 and 40. When he appeared throughout the entire show. You would come in at the very beginning, then the backstage segment, close out the show. And I feel like that's what was missing from John
Cena lost to R-Truth in 2011, got put through a table. It was a tables match, I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering right. Got
Slim Jim table, man. It's Slim Jim table now.
Slim Jim table. He got put through a table by R-Truth. Then CM Punk went out there. He by the way, Ron won because of CM Punk shenanigans.
Oh.
And then, as Cena laid there in as much pain as possible, CM Punk cut the pipe bomb, the most legendary promo of all time. Just do that again. Just run it exact same playbook. Have Ron Killings win, put Cena through a table, and have CM Punk cut a pipe bomb from the top of the stage. Just do it again.
Do you have the script?
What did you say?
I thought you do. You have the script?
Like you do. If that is the script, man, I think it's a script everyone's gonna like.
And you know what? I can't wait for that video where he goes back and forth between the times.
Yeah. Oh. It's just so crazy that we're back in such a almost 1-to-1 of 2011. Unintentionally, because Ron wasn't supposed to be here.
There was a lot of things. You need to blame Jungle Boy for this, Mr. Perry.
That's true. Real glass.
Real glass, brother. Cry me a river. That's like the butterfly
That's
effect.
the butterfly effect. You are right, dude. It's insane how much you can attribute to that moment.
It's the little son and father resuscitating the little pigeon, dude. That's it. That moment.
Yep. And then that pigeon came and took a dump on our windshield named Goldberg.
Okay, I now the thought I had it a little second ago. You said a lot of characters are now involved in John Cena's saga. Does the big Maui, You're Welcome, Dwayne The Rock Johnson reappear?
God.
Because CM Punk's been saying his name, and I know you sound jaded. You sound dejected. You sound like when I'm like, hey man, y'all don't worry about it. So-and-so's gonna show up the door, and they don't show up. And it happens again and again and again and again. But what if shows up? You would think that Senor Wayne Johnson does not show up for SummerSlam? Night 1 and night 2? The first ever in history?
Sancho, when it comes to The Rock, I feel like Will Smith, when his dad left, his biological dad left, and he just had Uncle Phil there, who was like, why don't he want me? And they hug each other, and it's one of the saddest moments in television history. That's how I feel about The Rock, man. We need him. Why don't he want me, man? Why don't he want me? Why doesn't he want to come back, Sancho?
It's because he's on to greener pastures, dude. He's working with Martin Scorsese, my friend.
I know.
Marty, you think he wants to ruin that? You think the studio wants to ruin that? They put all their eggs in the Rock basket right now?
Apparently that War Machine movie is like Oscar worthy. Like crazy, right? Like The Rock is making such a pivot into acting, like actual acting. I think he's like, okay, I've made enough bank of doing
Action star.
of doing like the regurgitated action movie. I can't tell you the difference between Rampage, San Andreas, and Skyscraper. They're all the same freaking movie to me.
San Andreas, he's a helicopter pilot.
What about Skyscraper?
He's a able person, and he's like a natural disaster dude. Right?
Okay.
In Rampage, he has a giant monkey.
What about Skyscraper? What's the difference between
I
Skyscraper?
just told you, he's an able body, and he's like a natural disaster guy.
I thought that was San Andreas.
No, he's a helicopter pilot.
A natural disaster guy. See, they're the same thing. But yeah, Rampage, he has a monkey at least. I should have said that. He has a monkey. You can differentiate that one. He got a monkey, brother.
And he's like a zoologist or something.
I genuinely couldn't tell you the difference between Skyscraper and San Andreas.
Oh, don't do this. Let's not. Let's.
We gotta not look. Is it the War Machine? Rock Machine? Rock Machine? What are you? I just looked up Rock Machine. Apparently that's a motorcycle club.
Smashing Machine.
Okay.
Smashing.
Close. Rock Machine. What did I say? Smashing Machine. War Machine. I said War Machine.
You think
Yeah,
I'm...
that's from the Iron Man universe.
Guys, gals,
We're an hour in.
we're not movie buffs. We're just two guys talking about wrestling. Oh, brother.
All right, let's move on here. Are you excited for what they're doing with Punk and Cena right now, though, as they go into Saudi Arabia? I guess that's being probably confirmed.
I like the idea of John Cena calling him a hypocrite. I like how CM Punk has kind of pivoted, be like, I have no choice to do it. There was a moment where I felt in that last promo where CM Punk kind of lost his way, but he called it out. Be like, I'm trying to get a lot off my chest, which I think is smart. I think the only way, I don't know. You know what I'm trying not to do is I'm trying not to think about the end, right? I feel that Triple H has conditioned me so much to always think about the ending. Where are we going? Where's the GPS landing? Because he always takes different routes, delays, goes long or too short, and then I'm like wondering about the end, right? What's the end of this entire John Cena ride? Is it him being a heel or him being face, him being walking out as champion? And I feel like for now I have to just take it step by step, because if I'm like, if CM Punk loses, what does that mean for John Cena? Who does he go after next? The only thing I just dislike that is that Night of Champions. I feel like it should be a SummerSlam thing, right? It sounds like it's a SummerSlam match through and through, and we could have a longer build, which I think what hurts a lot of undisputed feuds is it's a very short PLE cycle feud. When this could be a 2 PLE cycle feud, we could like really juice this. It should be 3 matches with CM Punk. Why not? It deserves another saga.
I'm with you. I agree with everything that you're saying. I just feel like TKO, WWE are so dead set on Cody Cena for SummerSlam. Probably a Seth Rollins cash in on Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. I feel like that's being heavily teased. So that left very little room as to where we could put Cena versus Punk. We could have done it after SummerSlam, but then we're playing with fire. You know, an injury could happen. Anything could happen at any moment. And then all of a sudden, as we wait to find the right place to do a John Cena versus CM Punk post SummerSlam, all of a sudden that could go up in smoke. I am right now a man of the thought that if you are not going to do this at SummerSlam, just do it. Just do it. It's just get it over with. Not get it over with in the sense of like, let's move on past this. Just do it so that we can actually have it in the resume of the John Cena retirement tour. Let's not play with fire. Let's not risk an injury where we have to miss it. Let's just do it. It's there. It's not the ideal venue, because Night of Champions doesn't have like the same historical impact as a SummerSlam, and sure as hell nowhere near as much as Money in the Bank would have. That would have been the perfect place. I'm in a position, Sancho. Beggars can't be choosers. Just give me the match. Just do it.
But again, the reason why we had that Money in the Bank match was to hurt Jey Uso and then to lose to Gunther. That's what I'm saying. That's where, when you get to the business side of how do we get to, all this kind of stuff,
The GPS. How do we get to point A to point B?
I tell my wife, we're gonna get there, honey. We're gonna get there. I don't need to turn here. I don't need to be in this lane. We're gonna get there. Okay? Just trust me.
All right. Well, let's talk about getting there, because one of the roads to get there is by winning the King of the Ring. We have a really interesting situation here, Sancho. All 4 semifinalists in the King of the Ring tournament are 4 of the top babyfaces in the WWE. Dare I say the top 4 babyfaces in the WWE? Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton. And all 4 of these guys make for very interesting sagas. We have very interesting finals that we could have. We could have Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn, Uso versus Uso. We could have Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, finally, protege versus mentor. Maybe they go the baby face favorite in Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia versus the face of the company in Cody Rhodes. A lot of interesting things that you can
Randy and Sammy are part of that nebulous. And that to me is where I'm like, bummer. I feel when King of the Ring has been its own PLE, I feel like it's a great way to introduce new talent, to get someone that's from the mid card up to the top of the mid card, or move someone from the mid card to the championship level of the world heavyweight title. And this is here, it's just used to regain whatever they lost. To power play is what I said. It doesn't feel like a King of the Ring traditional. It is just a way to get somebody into SummerSlam. When they added the stipulation, and I know it's not the first time they did this. They did this in 2002 with Brock Lesnar. That if you win the King of the Ring, you go and get a SummerSlam, and they did it with Gunther as well. But when you look at the entire field of King of the Rings, dude, it's been in a weird spot throughout its history. It's either a top 5 PLE or it's literally on SmackDown or Raw, and it's a weird way to introduce a new gimmick for a Sheamus who needs a refresh. Xavier Woods, who just wanted to be King of the Ring because it was been dormant for so long. Probably the most successful post Brock Lesnar King of the Ring, after my research and really thinking about it because I wasn't around in this era, was King Booker. Like King Booker was able to turn that into a title run, and he was like King Booker for like a year.
Yeah.
And he had a
Sorry,
great run.
Sancho. If you're gonna say, you have to say it. Thank you.
King
Thank you.
Booker.
I wasn't gonna let that one slide.
I feel you. And then you could argue, of course, Gunther going ahead and winning in 2024. But this just doesn't feel like King of the Ring to me. You know, it just feels like an excuse to give another golden ticket, another ticket for the Cody Rhodeses, for the Randy Ortons and Jey Uso. The only odd one out that fits the King of the Ring narrative in the past is Sami Zayn, right? Sami Zayn never touched heavyweight title.